How far along Brady was in his development as a quarterback was amazing. Even though he didn't start the season for us in '85, when Gary Anderson got hurt and he was thrust in there to be the starter for us, we didn't miss a beat. We probably actually got a little better with Brady being in there just because he knew where everybody was on the field. There was no guessing. The guy he was on, as they say, he was on point. He knew exactly what he was doing, and he knew exactly what everybody else was doing also. Just to be around a guy like that and see the kind of control he had, the knowledge he had of the offense and what everybody was doing, at that age was pretty amazing.
First question for Mr. Kirksey. What are your impressions so far of Hugh Jackson and the new coaching staff?
Well, no disrespect to Hugh Jackson, but hopefully nobody from Cincinnati trying to jump in the dog pound. But my first impression of Hugh Jackson, man, he's a Class A guy. He's a guy that wants to win. And my first time meeting him, he just came to me and he looked at me and said, are you ready to be a starter? And I told him, yeah, I'm ready to be a starter. And he just told me that the way he coaches, he brings the best out of people in life and on the football field. And he's just that type of guy that he means what he says. He's not sugarcoating anything. He's honest, and that's a lot of grown men in the locker room. So you have to be honest with grown men. When you're honest with a person like that, then you get a lot of respect from me. So my first impression on him is he's ready to get the job done. So, and I know that in the past we haven't been having any good seasons for real, but hopefully that changes this season. And I was told at my table that everybody who comes to the event usually leaves. So hopefully I break that curse.
So Mack, what was your pregame ritual?
I don't even know if I want to tell anybody. It's kind of funny because everybody they say, "Oh, you're such a nice person, you're a nice guy."
No.
Before the game, don't talk to me, don't look at me. I sit in my locker, I'm dressed, I'm ready to go. I'm going over plays. But really and truly, I couldn't stand for anybody to say anything. Don't talk. Please don't. I was just the way I got focused and got ready to play the game. And it kind of carried over when we went out for warm-ups. And every now and then I would forget that I was warming up against my old teammates, and I had to back off a little bit. But yeah, I wasn't a nice guy on the field. Trust me.
The next question is for Christian Kirksey. I'll be honest with you, of all the questions, there's a million of the same question, and I'm going to just pile it into one. Johnny Manziel, what the hell? I don't know what you can or are willing to say. I'm just going to give you the microphone and take as long as you need.
Yeah, one word.
Did he ever hit you up for bail?
Happens in Rochester, stays in Rochester.
All phones and cameras. Johnny is he's a good friend of mine, and I just wish him the best. Everybody has their own path, and one day we may cross paths again. Who knows? But I just wish him the best with his career. So you always got to stay positive with people and look at the best out of people. So, but looking forward to this season. I'm looking forward to working with RG3, and hopefully he brings us some wins. So that's all I got to say about that.
Someone I played against. but they seem like a coaching staff of teachers, which reminds me a lot of when I first got to Cleveland with Marty Schottenheimer. He had an experienced coaching staff, and they taught guys how to play football. So I'm really excited. I might not look like it, but I'm kind of excited. And I just want to see how training camp goes and how the young guys react to the new coaching staff. I think the sky's the limit when you get a staff like that in to teach young talented players to go out on the field and play. And I think it's even better when the guys get a taste of what I had a taste of when we were here in Cleveland winning. They won't believe it. I mean, they've had some wins, but they haven't had consistent wins to where the city is just wide open. Everybody is always talking to Browns, and I don't think many people in the organization realizes how much Cleveland is a Browns town more than anything. You hear about the Cavaliers and how well they do, and the Indians, but nothing compares to the Browns when they're winning. So I'm kind of anxious for the staff and the whole organization as a whole really to kind of experience that.
Being from Northeast Ohio, it's funny, my dad is a huge Indians fan, and he is so mad at he likes the Browns, but don't get me wrong, he's so mad because the Indians can't draw a crowd, and the Browns, no matter what, they draw a crowd. It really is Browns country. It's unbelievable. Has that really hit you? I mean, have you noticed that? What are your impressions of Browns fans? Be careful, because we're all Browns fans. All of us together could take it. All of us together.
But no, it definitely shows me how loyal the fans are in Cleveland. And just like I was telling my table, that it reminds me of college. I went to University of Iowa, and I feel like we have some crazy fans, and I feel like the same way with the Browns fans. We haven't been winning too many games, but just every Sunday they're still supporting us. They're still yelling for us. Through the bad games, through the good games, it's still the same amount of people just cheering us on, and us as players, we really appreciate that, because a lot of people on Twitter, social media, ESPN, they count us out all the time, but it definitely feels good when you have a support system in the fans, and they're always behind you 100%. That makes you want to go out and play even more. So Cleveland definitely has some good fans, and they're one of the top in the league. So that's all I can say about the Dogs.
Chris, can you talk a little bit about the Browns-Steelers rivalry? Being from St. Louis, going to Iowa, so you come to Cleveland. What is it like to just step into a rivalry like that? Is it hard to get mentally into that, or you just snap? Who's our rivals? Okay, those guys.
I knew how real the rivalry was when I first told somebody I was Iowa. They told me I looked like a Steeler, because in college we got the same uniform basically. So somebody told me to burn my college shirt. So I knew from that point on it was a serious rival, and it's not hard to get in the mode of hating Steelers, because our coaches and the organization, they instill it in you. Like, Steelers week is a very important week, so it was very easy for me to get with the program and to buy into that rivalry. And every time we play the Steelers, it's a physical game, and like Mack said, Mack attack. You gonna live in the ice tub. You might as well sleep there. But yeah, it's definitely it's a hard rivalry, and everybody just leaves it out on the field. And I believe my first time playing the Steelers was in Pittsburgh, and my first sack was against Ben Roethlisberger, and it was just hopefully we can keep it going and get some wins against them. So I know Cleveland really like that, and we got to win the AFC North. That's what it's all about.
Something like that, man. Kevin, what is your funniest Browns memory? No comment. Like another question?
Yeah, really, I can't say. Some of my teammates would definitely hunt me down if I told those stories.
It's okay.
I guess one of the funny memories I have, and it goes back to the last question about the Steelers. I'm kind of like Christian. My high school colors was Steeler colors. So a few years back, I was back at my high school playing in a golf tournament.
Don't go there.
So of course I'm wearing my old school colors, and somehow it got on Facebook, and I had some people just, they called me and like, man, what are you doing wearing these colors? And I'm serious, they really gave me a hard time about it, and I was like, okay, I can't do that again. So it was kind of crazy. It kind of shows you the rivalry, and how people really react to it. And I was like, hey, I was back doing some fundraising for my high school, it was a good cause. They didn't care, get rid of those colors, take it off.
All right. Another question for Chris. I'm sort of combining a couple questions here and putting them in my own words, but I think they're good questions. They have to do with playing nowadays and some of the things that you have that Kevin and those fellows didn't have in terms of technology. Twitter and Instagram, Snapchat, just text messaging in general. So it's sort of a two-part question. One, after a game, when you finally check your phone, is it just full of texts of people saying, with comments on the game, like your buddies and your family? And then part two, how hard is it to be disciplined on Twitter and not just rip something, realizing it would be on SportsCenter the next day?
So going to your phone after a win is definitely fun. It's fun, everybody's, oh, Chris, man, I saw you out there, good win, y'all did good, on to the next one, and I miss you, text like that, but after a loss, after a loss, I mean, my mom is probably, she's very positive with me. Your close friends, you would think your close friends will have your back after a loss, but they're your close friends for a reason, so they're going to be honest with you. One time I got to my phone and my friend was like, hey man, you missed like 3 tackles. And I'm like, I'm aware that I missed 3 tackles. I'm aware. He's like, yeah, I wouldn't be a real friend if I didn't tell you. But definitely the social media, to be honest, I don't check my social media after the game, just because it can knock you off focus, because sometimes you may see a bad tweet of somebody just ripping you to pieces, and you don't want to see that after a loss, or you don't want to see your teammate get ripped to pieces. So you just kind of like put your Twitter, your Instagram, you put all that aside, and a lot of the players do that. We don't want nobody to get caught up in the hype, caught up in all the media stuff. So, well, after the win, I check my phone. But like after the loss, I don't check it at all. So, you'll see a lot of guys waving their hands in the air just to, get involved with the crowd, or on 4th downs. I may look at the dog pound and just, it's some weird, some costumes it's pretty funny. I think I saw a banana in the stands before. But I can say I think kickoff and 4th downs or 3rd downs is when I look in the crowd just to just get the crowd behind it, especially defense. When the crowd is at its loudest and we need a 3rd down stop, it actually gives us a lot of momentum, and it just helps us out. So I'll peep some costumes when the crowd is that banana. Hey, that's a good one. I don't really pay attention to the females. I have a girlfriend, so I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
She's probably watching my eyes.
Concussion came out. You've even had a couple of players retire early. I think Buffalo Bill just retired at the age of like 24 or something. Brett Favre said he wouldn't let his children play football. I guess my question is for you to maybe just talk about your impressions of all of the information that's come out about concussions, and what would your advice be to parents in the crowd who have kids who might want to play football? Go for it, don't go for it. What do you think of all that?
You know, it's, you know, all the talk is crazy. You know, the NFL has its points and counterpoints, whatever anybody brings up about concussions. But I think it's safe to say that everybody realizes that concussions are dangerous, and when you have multiple concussions, it's not good for you. It's kind of weird, you know. And I've had people ask me to say, "Hey, have you ever had a concussion?" And I tell them I've never been diagnosed with a concussion, so I really couldn't tell you. I've had my bell rung a couple of times, but whether it ended up in a concussion or not, or it had concussion symptoms, I couldn't tell you. Luckily enough for me, I haven't had any memory. What was I saying? No, I was just kidding. But you know, it's kind of scary because I do know some guys that I played with who's had some serious problems about the concussions, headaches, memory loss, and things like that. So I think it is very real. And when you think about the sport, I mean, it's a car wreck every quarter. I mean, there's multiple car wrecks every quarter. I mean, you're talking about 200-plus pound guys running each other at full speed. That's about 25 miles an